Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode 39 of everyone's favorite podcast. I don't know, with your host, myself, Jackie.
And Sana.
And our special guest, my bestie, my little dove. We have Nadim Yamak joining us.
Hi.
Say hi to the people.
Yes, say hi to our 5 fans.
Hello.
Yes, we have him here today because we're going to talk about some generational stuff.
Yeah,
some
the
Gen Z.
heated topic of Gen Z versus millennial.
Yes.
The topic that only millennials think about.
That's
You know what? That's kind of true,
It's kind of true, though.
That's kind of
yeah.
true. Because,
yeah.
Well, we'll get into it, but yeah. Starting off strong, Nadim.
Yeah.
No, it's so true, though. Okay, so, before we get into it and we go completely off track, let's get into weekend recap. So, Sana, what did you get up to?
Absolutely nothing. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, I kept it really chill. Why do I feel like I had something to do on Friday and I just can't remember what I did?
I don't know.
You should know what I did on Friday.
I probably should, but I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell myself either. Damn, that's only been a few days ago. I can't remember what I did over the weekend, but it was really chill. I'm on a mission to build muscle right now, so I'm kind of in this thing of nobody invite me out, nobody drink with me. I need to count everything I eat. So I've been very antisocial.
Yes, she has.
Besides working and counting and weighing food, I have done nothing.
Yeah, the only fun I think you had this past week was we went to Juliet.
Oh, we did for Roger's birthday.
Yes, for our friend Roger's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Sana had like 2 sips of champagne. Whatever, it was fine.
Yeah.
It worked out for the rest of us because then we drank it.
They drank, yeah, totally. It worked out.
It was fine.
Someone has to be the DD, right? So
I wasn't even the DD. That's
we weren't even responsible.
That's the best part.
No, nobody got drunk.
No,
everyone.
it was very
we did
like
not do that.
one glass of wine
Yes.
on top of the champagne. The champagne was like, what is that cup called? The coupe?
The coupe?
Yeah, the coupe.
Yeah, that's probably the P is probably silent. If I was really gonna maybe speak, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very small. It was smaller than a normal glass would be.
Yes, and we ate a lot, so there was.
Yeah, and the ambiance was good. If anybody wants to go, ambiance is great.
Yes.
I thought food was okay.
Food was fine. It was good.
Not worth the price.
No, I think it's a really good lunch spot. We'll have to maybe go. Juliet, it's in Culver City.
Oh.
Yeah.
So actually, we should go to Margot because you would like that as well. It's a rooftop.
Okay, we'll go.
Much better food. It's owned by the same company.
Yeah.
But I feel like Juliet's like a good Saturday lunch spot.
Yeah, I like it almost. I feel like for the price, it's one of those places it's already pricey and you get like 2 things on your plate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like not satisfactory when you get the 2 things that are like okay tasting and you're like,
and
oh,
you're
that
like,
didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, so then you're kind of still hungry, and then you're like, but I'm also out of
Yeah.
money, so anyway.
Gotta appreciate culinary arts, you know?
That's true.
They plate well there. But
They do. Yeah, okay, so chill weekend.
chill weekend. How about you?
Nice. Let's see mine was a very chill weekend as well. It was kind of sad. I went to a funeral on Saturday.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was sad. We had a family friend. Well, actually, she was like an independent contractor that did some work for my dad's business. And her son passed away.
Oh, that's really
and he
sad.
was only 36.
Oh gosh.
Which he passed away in his sleep, so that was really sad. And I don't even know how she got up there and spoke. I don't even know how to begin to try to figure that out, and because it's such an unnatural thing for a parent to bury a child, So, but I mean, a lot of people. I think it was 120 to 140 people there.
Wow.
So he was clearly loved, and so I don't know. It was just, but it's just sad being so young, and it was her firstborn.
Oh, no.
So I think so. It's just anyway. So that was very sad. But I was happy to be able to support her.
Sure.
She did so much for my dad's business and for us. It's insane. So that's kind of a bummer. And then Sunday just very chill, church, saw family. That was pretty much about it. I just did stuff around the house. Nothing, which I was fine with. I was
sometimes it's great.
Yeah, because I had something every single night during the week. So yeah. It was great. Nadim, what did you get up to?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, I didn't really have a chill weekend.
You did not, according to Instagram.
Glad you did it for both of us.
Yeah. Everyone, listen up. I'm just kidding. No, it was West Hollywood Pride this
right.
weekend.
Oh,
so
how was
happy
that?
Pride. It was so much fun. I went to go see Orville Peck, which is a gay country singer. And then also saw the incredible, legendary Grace Jones, which was so iconic. And then just bar hopped. And it was so much fun being, well, first of all, I just got back from New York not too long ago. So being back where I would go all the time during my 21 days and then tried to during COVID and then kind of gone for a while. It was so nice to be back with my community and back with my friends. And yeah, so it was such a great time.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do it again this weekend. Coming.
I mean,
You know, go live for us.
the WeHo bars are fun. So
Yeah, they can be really fun for sure.
Yeah, they can be.
yeah, you just
very,
got to
very
watch
fun.
your wallet, but
Oh, yeah.
And your phone.
and your phone because
Yeah.
they like to pickpocket
They
there.
like to
They like to
take
pick
things.
Jackie's pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to pick my pockets. So,
you
yeah.
got to be careful.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I think it's like a known thing.
No, they
for
have
sure.
signs.
No,
They have
signs.
signs in the bars
Yeah,
that
that are
say
like-
"Watch your pocket."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember my birthday last or year
Yes.
or two ago? Like you got your phone stolen.
I got my phone stolen, yeah.
Allison got her phone stolen, and one other person got their phone
I know
stolen.
many
on
people
one
that
night.
have gotten their phones
It was, and I was like,
stolen.
joke's on you. It's an iPhone 8. And
Yeah.
we're already at like 14.
No, I was
like,
actually so grateful her phone got stolen
Yeah.
because
You
she had
were
an
like-
iPhone 8 with a cracked screen protector.
I
for
remember that
years.
phone.
Oh my
it,
gosh.
it needed to happen.
Yeah, he was like, honestly, this is the best thing that could have ever
I'm sure
happened
the person
to
that
you.
stole it just like chucked it after
No,
they got it. They
literally.
were like,
seriously,
they
and
were
it was
like,
so funny because I remember like even that night when I told him, he was like, he like totally like feigned like being so sad. He was like, oh my god, babe, that sucks.
And she calls me the next day. She has a brand new iPhone 13 or 12,
Yeah, and
whatever
I
it
was
was.
like,
Like-
okay, I'm Connie. He was like, honestly, best thing that could have ever
Yeah, happened to you.
He's
They
like,
did you a favor.
Exactly, but well, yes, go out and have fun.
Thank you.
For
I
us,
will.
because yeah, I don't think I'll probably be doing anything. Because again, I have something every night this week, so it's just like
Yeah.
by the
Well,
time
we're
we
gonna have
get-
fun on Thursday.
That's
Don't get
exactly
that twisted.
Thursday.
if you want to
we're
hang
gonna
out
go
with them
out.
on Thursday, you know where they'll be.
Yes, you will be out in West Hollywood. So if you want to have some fun with us, hit us up.
Yeah.
Go.
We'll do some signings. But all right, let's get into today's topic. 'Cause we have a lot to go over. So as we said, obviously we have Nadim with us.
Yes.
A real life Gen Zer.
A real life in the flesh.
In the flesh. No, but we thought it would just be really well. First of all, I guess we should introduce like how we know each other.
Yeah,
Like,
let's go there.
Yeah,
let's
we'll
go
just
there.
go there. So I actually hired Nadim.
Oh, look at his face.
When
Very
he-
grateful for that, by the way.
Yeah, and as was I. And no, I hired him for seasonal work during the holidays at Nordstrom. Nordstrom
Mhm.
Riverside, Tyler, shout out. It doesn't
Yeah,
exist
I actually went to a
anymore.
job fair.
Yes, it was the
And-
career fair, it's a job
yeah.
fair. And of course he was like the only one like impeccably dressed. And it was really funny because he like interviewed with our logistics manager who was like complete opposite of him. Like, totally. But at that time our departments, logistics and customer service were combined. So Sergio, the manager who interviewed him, was like, hey, I think I have a really good person for customer service. And I was like, oh, fantastic. And he like told me who he was. And I was like, oh, he was dressed really, really well.
Yeah.
Like I remember like seeing that. And he's like, yeah, he's going to go to law school. So he's like a law student. I was like, oh my God, someone's smart. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I don't even need to interview.
yeah. And so I think,
Yeah.
I think I called you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had like, did we even have another interview? I think I just
I
like,
don't
went
think
straight
so.
to
I think I
training.
just was like, hey, like, and asked you maybe some customer service questions
Yeah.
because like legality I had to.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bing, bing, boom, you're hired.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
Perfect.
so what year was that?
2000. I was there a year until COVID hit. So.
Yeah.
So 20, 19,
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
No,
When was COVID?
2020.
20. It was
So then
March
2019.
2020. So no,
2019.
holiday before. Was it holiday or anniversary?
And it was anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Summer
so
of
yes,
2019.
So summer of 2019.
Yeah. And mind you, I was like in the food industry before. So like trying to break into retail was like my long.
Were you a server?
No, I was. Where was I?
You were at Cheesecake.
I was at Cheesecake.
You're at Panera.
And no, it was after Cheesecake.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. So I was at the Cheesecake Factory working in the bakery.
Stealing the bread.
No. I was literally defrosting the cheesecakes, climbing a 20-foot ladder to grab those from the freezer,
Oh my God.
and learning all 36 of them, et cetera, et cetera. And then I ended up at Nordstrom after not getting hired twice, by
Yeah.
the way.
You know, fun fact though, because I met Jackie at Nordstrom,
Oh.
and I met her before that, 2013.
Yeah.
And
10 years.
I probably got rejected twice. I never, not even like an interview. I didn't even get past the application.
Yeah.
I think I got rejected 2 or 3 times before I finally, and then I got one interview and I nailed it. But they are selective as heck.
They really are.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
very discerning. Very discerning. I got hired on the first try, so that's fine. But
Anyways.
Anyways, well, she was going for a very specialty department.
that's true. That is probably the only reason why.
Yeah.
The wedding department?
Wedding suite. So anniversary sale 2019. Obviously, we kept him on because he was
course.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then now we're here.
I also tried really, really hard to stay on.
Yes.
And
he
tried
was
to be as
like-
competitive as possible
Yeah.
and kiss ass as much as possible. And it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah. I mean, also, what, you were 20, 21, 22?
I was 21.
21. I mean, how many jobs are it's hard to find. They pay decently for that age.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and plus it wasn't
Yeah.
sales. It was customer
Yeah,
service.
so I was
Yeah.
actually getting paid the least in the store.
Oh, okay, so sorry I said that. Sorry I said that.
But we didn't have to deal with like merchandising every morning, and we didn't have to do floor moves
Yeah.
and
That's
like
true.
major stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like we were done. So I don't know. I always feel like it's kind of like not like it's better, but kind of.
It's not. But
I mean, we had to sell. I mean, we got a
Yeah.
base, but we had to sell too.
Yeah, we had to sell.
well, I
and it can
remember
be
like
really
always
hard.
thinking that I could sell better than anyone else that was there.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you didn't even want to be in customer service.
No, but I wanted to be at Nordstrom.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I get
you
that.
wanted to be with me because I was the best manager.
Yeah.
there.
And then our store permanently closed down due to COVID.
Yeah.
And like also just having the worst store in California.
No, yeah.
Along
I mean,
with,
she
like,
needed to go a
Claremont.
long time
Yeah.
ago. She was
Oh,
wasting her
yeah.
time there.
I
100%.
I was.
We both were.
Yes, we
Yeah.
both were. But yeah, and I remember because Nadim is currently in law school.
Yeah.
Wow. What year are you?
I'm going to be, so I'm a rising 3L, meaning I'm about to hit my third year and be done.
What?
Yeah.
That's so you're going to law school in New York.
Yes, City University of New York.
That's amazing. So you must be having a blast in New York.
No, I mean, I love New York. I think it's great. I think being a student there is awful because
Okay.
you don't get to do everything you want to do, especially a law
'Cause you're
student.
busy. You're
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
busy.
Yeah, especially as
Yeah.
a law student.
And I live right next to a school, so it feels like I'm living in a dorm, even though it's like my first ever apartment that I've ever lived in. But yeah, I don't know. I think vacationing there is like the way to go.
But you don't
Yeah.
like living
And please,
there.
New Yorkers, don't read me to filth for not liking New York. I'm a Californian. That's all it is. There's nothing deeper than that.
West Coast, it's
So you're
fine.
definitely coming back after you're done.
That's the goal. Yeah, I want to take the California bar
Yeah.
and come back as an attorney after I pass the bar
God,
and move straight to LA. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll be here rooting.
I know. No, it's just I'm like such like a proud mom with him because I always say like I'm like big sister type moments because I remember when he was studying for his LSAT in my office and he would take his lunch and he would like sit right next
Yeah.
to my desk and he would like study and like sometimes we would distract each other but like I don't know, we helped get each other like things done and I just remember him being like, okay, I need to talk to you about my schedule and like school and
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was like part of like I think it was like a law fraternity.
Yeah, it was a co-ed, so don't judge.
Yeah.
Co-ed, girls and boys and non-binary folks all joined, and it was really fun. I was the president.
Yes, he
But,
was the president.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
I just
you.
remember him like just working so hard at school and like really, going for it and then working really hard at Nordstrom. Like he was one of my top people. Like I could walk away from the floor and be like, Nadim's in charge, type
Yeah,
of thing.
everything will be okay.
And
Yeah.
the pay never changed, though. So
Yeah. Jackie.
I had nothing to
I
do
know
with
you didn't.
it. Let's all attack the Nordstrom brothers for that. And then to see him now as going into his third year of law school.
It's amazing.
and
His last year.
It's insane. It's incredible. So like just so proud of him. And to see like his internships and stuff, like which we'll talk about more. But yeah, so and what, like he moved across the country.
yeah.
Himself.
Did you know
and
anybody
him.
in New York?
I just knew people on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, just on Instagram. And when I got there, I was hoping that would have been enough, but it wasn't because
It's hard.
Yeah.
people on Instagram aren't looking for friends. They're looking
for followers.
For followers and for hookups and things of that sort. So it wasn't like ideal at first. But when I got to school, I am kind of an extrovert, but with an insecurity of being a little annoying. So I was just like, kind of going there and there. But like one thing that people do tell you, but you don't listen to, is that law school is really straight and white. And I didn't believe that because I was in a co-ed pre-law fraternity that was predominantly like POC because we're all aspiring and wanting to be great in this world. So when I got there, it was kind of a wake-up call However, you take the time to like pick and choose who you want to spend time with and spend time on, and it ends up working out. You just got to believe in the process for sure, for sure.
Yeah. And that's like something that I'm like, so I think I don't want to say more proud than him like going to law school, but like just doing it on his own. Like this was, in my estimate, this is a kid, like never lived on his own before. Like he moved across the country, just him and his dog Paolo, the cutest dog, and like moved out on his own, moved across the country on his own, was going to school where he knew no one, to a city all by himself. Like that's huge. Like that's insane.
It's
and
a big city too.
also like law school. Like
Miss
shit.
my,
Pressure
I
of
miss
law
my
school
family
already.
a lot too.
Yeah.
I remember like when I was there and I went on like this super bad date, and I went home and I called my mom because I went home alone, and I was just like, Mom, like it's like really hard like living on your own, because not only are you going home alone, but you're going home alone on a bad day
Yeah.
when you don't have someone to just give a hug to or just vent to in person. And that definitely took a toll on me for a while, until my mom started visiting more. I started
Yeah.
coming back more. Jackie would
Yeah.
visit me.
Yeah.
And it's really just about prioritizing your support system, especially when you feel alone, because you really never are alone.
That's good. No, that's a
Yeah.
good chunk of advice.
Yeah.
I feel like that honestly there could be like a whole episode on like honestly like the mental health of like
Yeah.
when you move alone or
When
living
don't
on your
know
own
anybody.
for the first time. Like
Yeah.
that's such a transition. Like I'm kind of experienced. I know we've talked about
Yeah.
that because like I'm living by myself for
Yeah.
the first time.
And you work remote.
And I work remote. So I'm literally just like in my little cave for forever. Like just literally there's like maybe days where I don't leave and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get out.
Yeah.
But it's true, like you don't know what it's like to like not hear anyone else in your house. And to
Literally.
not like there are I don't know about you, Nadine, but like there's times where like I'll go like a half a day without saying a single word. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't said anything today. 'Cause there's-
No, exactly.
because like
that.
if you're not talking on the phone, which again, like I'm sure we'll get into this, but like we just text, or we're on TikTok and sending each other stuff, but we're not talking.
But also, like, there's only so much you can do long distance.
Yeah.
It's like, how many phone calls can we have a day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it starts to feel even lonelier. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, I really only have friends on my phone. It
Yeah.
just like emphasizes it a little bit more.
Yeah. We should
Do you-
start
yeah.
doing FaceTime dinner dates.
Well,
Should like eat dinner.
that'd be fun.
Like FaceTime each other.
I have
Makes
a
it a
Gen
little
Z
bit harder
thing that you
with
probably
the-
don't know about.
Whoa, what is it?
Oh, what is
Can I bring it up now?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it up now.
Did you watch Zoe 101?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I-
What about
did
you, Jackie?
not,
Okay,
no.
well, do you remember the episode when Zoe and Chase have a date on FaceTime, technically, eating sushi?
Kind of.
It was like the Zoe 101 movie
Yeah.
finale. And they had like moved to different states. And that's how I actually thought of that possibility when our technology kind of matched up with this like super old show. Was like, you can have dates online on like FaceTime. And they ate
Yeah.
sushi together and it was fun. She was at a sushi restaurant. Chase was at takeout sushi at his house. So it was a cute
That's
vibe.
cute.
Yeah.
No, it is
Yeah.
cute.
Minus the time difference, it could maybe work for
It
you
could
guys.
maybe work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm always hungry, so
Yeah, there we
doesn't
go.
really
Same.
matter.
But do you feel like, but since now you're year 3, do you
Yeah.
feel like you've made friends or it's still been kind of hard?
I feel like I've definitely made some great friends. Like,
Okay.
and I've definitely lost friends too. Like, people I made friends with my first year, I don't talk to anymore. Law school's a funny place. It's a place where you're all trying to like help change the world in some kind of
Is it
capacity.
very competitive?
Yes.
Mm.
Like, I want to change the world better than you are going to change
Yeah.
the world. And I'm just like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's not study together anymore, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's not
Yeah.
working
He
out.
like gives you all the wrong answers
Yeah.
on the study.
No,
guide.
literally. No, people have done that too.
That is so fucked up.
And so I'm grateful for who I am friends with now, and I'm grateful for the friends that stuck around here in California, and I'm grateful for the ones that left too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's true. There's always like a lesson in it,
Definitely.
So, or it's like it served its purpose,
Yeah,
and then it's moved on.
exactly,
So.
exactly.
No, so proud of him. It's just my little dove.
No,
I'm
that is
so proud.
really good.
So again, the whole topic is just kind of Gen Z, and because I feel like there's like a lot of mystery surrounding
like
Gen
a-
Z, in a way. I feel like
We need a
millennials.
scientific study.
Yeah, right.
What are you guys up to?
Pick at
Yeah,
you.
I am thankful for you guys to make blowing up TikTok though.
That's true.
I will
Yeah,
thank you guys
have
for that.
brought some
Yeah.
really good things. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
Of
doing
course.
that.
thank you. Please let your crew know.
Yeah.
For those listening, I'm curtsying right now.
Yeah. Bowing. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so kind of I feel like your guys' generation, Gen Z, has, I don't know, I feel like you guys kind of get a bad rap a lot of times about
Yeah,
stuff.
because of you guys.
Well, okay, well, hey, I hired you. So
Yeah,
like,
true.
You needed me.
Well, it's true.
You're understaffed.
I believe
You were understaffed. That's why she didn't even interview. She's like, I'll take
I
anybody.
was like, I
And
need
that's
a
why
warm
she kept
body.
on like even worse people than I was like, am I not actually special? Because she kept on me and them. I was like, oh.
That's always his thing. He's always like, because I hired another guy with him. Going,
Oh, look at his face.
Adolfo.
No, because that that one was fine.
Oh, no. Oh, Adolfo was fine.
Wait, I don't want to say the name.
It's fine.
the
They
other
don't
one.
listen.
You're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
You don't do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was always like, really? Like, how do we have the same job? And like, how are we
Yeah.
hired? Like, what did you see in this person? Like, what does that mean that
About
you saw in me? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not the
gates-
same
we're
caliber.
not the
Yeah.
same- yeah, type of thing. It's like when you see like your ex with somebody and you're like, wait, but you told me I was beautiful. So like, what's your standard of beauty?
Yeah. That's
You're
a
like,
good one.
wait.
I feel like beauty's a spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, but well, I mean, I guess because of us. Well, us and like Gen Xers and Boomers, like I think
Yeah.
we just like really
Well, I
don't
think
understand.
you guys have done things very differently.
different, very.
Let's get
different.
into it. How?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think a big one is just so small, but like, when did you get your driver's license?
When I was 17.
Okay, yours is not bad because I know some people that either have kids or they're like people with younger kids have taken forever to get their driver's license.
Mhm.
yeah.
And
Okay.
there's no need. Like
Yeah.
they don't feel like for us, the second we could, we wanted it.
Right.
And there's some like people or like friends and all these people that I know that are like, oh, my kid doesn't want to do it, or my kid just wants to Uber, and I'm like,
Yeah, they're like, I'll just Uber.
I'm like, so we have Uber money now?
yeah, right.
I
I'm
was
like,
like,
yeah.
oh.
How do you have Uber money? Like,
I
I'd
don't-
love to
I don't
that,
know.
Maybe
but
because they're not paying for a car payment, so they have Uber money.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
okay.
yeah. I
I don't know, but
but
the urgency and the desire to get a driver's license is very interesting in your generation. I think for all of us, we were like, could not wait.
Well, where are these people that you're talking about?
Out here.
Out here in LA or
Orange County,
Orange County.
LA.
See, I grew up like in the boondocks of like Corona,
So
California.
you needed it. You
Yeah,
needed
I
it.
was like, I need to find safe
Yeah.
haven. I need
Yeah.
to go to LA, find my community. Like, so it was like that was like one of the things for me, my driving force
Okay.
to get a license first. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, and you're kind of a cusp Gen Zer.
Yeah. I mean, I just turned 25.
You're
but
very cuspy,
kind of, yeah,
kind of.
But
You're
no,
still
I,
90s.
yes,
98.
98.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's but like I was just gonna say, kind of along the lines of that. I think for us, it was like a true sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Whereas I think now Gen Zers, they kind of already have some of those freedoms.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
so they don't necessarily see it as like, oh my God, this is like my one chance to grab
True.
freedom and like be, because they're kind of already given that. So, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, my parents also had me kind of old. Like,
Mm.
I mean, sorry, mom, but like she was 38.
Okay.
And I know
okay.
there's a lot of people that are my age that have parents that are considered millennials and not boomers. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, because I think my mom being 60 is a boomer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she's not a millennial, but like I
Yeah.
know there's people my age that have millennial parents.
That's so
Yeah.
wild.
So it's kind of different in that way as well.
That is
No.
wild. When did they have their kid?
Oh my God. Well, but I mean, if there are people that got pregnant, what? Like,
You'd let, what, 38, 39 is the oldest you could be a millennial, no? The other kid at
yeah.
13?
Oh my God. Okay. I
Okay,
don't know.
maybe
We'd have to
maybe
do that.
not. Let's erase
Maybe
that.
Gen Xer.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
if they're younger than you, though.
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
younger than you, then
Yeah.
it would, not your age. If they
Yeah.
were a younger Gen Z, then yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, that makes sense. So yeah. So what do you think sets you apart? Because we're kind of talking about this. Like, what things?
Mhm.
What do you think sets you apart from the other generations? Like, kind
Like,
of
what do you think? How do I think Gen Z is
Yes.
different? Okay.
Yes. Versus like millennials and Gen Xers or like boomers. I think you and boomers are like the biggest difference.
I think, okay, and no one take offense to this, but I think it's the ability to be adaptable. Adaptable. I
The
think,
adaptability of it,
yeah, I think that there's just, I think Gen Z is just like thrown so much media and media consumption that they have to quickly adapt and quickly like different things as trends keep moving. While boomers, is that a slur?
No.
Okay, great. Okay. Boomers, like, they very much like didn't have media consumption as much. They very much like had that one thing that everyone was obsessed with, or two things, or that one politician that they all followed, or something like that. There was just these two parties, and now I feel like there's just so many different things that people can get into these days that boomers are just not used to absorbing as fast or as much right away. I don't know.
No, that's actually a really good way of putting it. Because I was thinking about that when I saw that question. I was like, how are they different? Besides the fact that they like understand technology.
But should I do Gen Z versus millennials?
Yeah, Gen Z versus millennials. How are you guys?
Okay.
What sets you apart, Gen Z?
I think Gen Z knows how to edit their pictures better than millennials. For sure. A lot of millennials are using stop using Visco. This is a public service announcement to stop using Visco.
Anybody that uses Visco anymore.
No, I'm following some of our old coworkers from Nordstrom that are millennials, and they're using Visco or like using the Instagram filters. I'm like, no.
Well, I will say though, I think you guys are less curated than us. I think we are more curated. You guys are more relaxed.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you sure though? I feel like a lot of my generation wants to be influencers. and have
No,
to
but then
create
you guys will do
themselves.
these photo dumps of like a keyboard and like a sandwich and like, you
See,
know what
you're
I
exposing
mean?
yourself. That's the aesthetic.
But I'm just saying
That's
it's
the
like
vibe.
versus millennials, everything is like heavily curated. Like I don't see very many millennials posting like that where it'll be like a shoe or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I get what you're saying.
I got that too.
I feel like I feel like it's really funny because I feel like Gen Z, their aesthetic is almost very 90s.
Right.
Because when I see it, I'm like, that looks so
90s
fucking
with a
familiar.
twist, yeah.
Yes, and it's very the millennial, the early 2000s, you know, and the 90s type of feel. So like things kind of have like this like camcordery vibe type of thing.
I did
and,
just buy a digital camera from like 2006.
Yes.
I
Oh my
will
god.
admit that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
and then
And the
the
pictures
fact
look
that,
great.
and wait, how about, and then
I can't.
the no skinny jeans. What's your take on that?
Never.
Oh my God! Because we grew up on skinny jeans.
That's all I've ever known.
Until I think I want to say like high school, junior high onwards was skinny. Before it was like, you know, boot cut and all
boot
that.
cut was like forever.
But now they only like straight leg and boot cut. Skinny's like
Yeah,
not.
you gotta
like-
add flare in there too. Flare's gonna
Oh, I
Flare.
love
come
Flare.
back.
Flare is
Yeah.
a 1970s.
Flare's a cute
and
twist on
that's-
his skinny because it's like skinny up top and then flare in the
I
bottom.
love a good flare jean, but I also have an affinity
Skinny,
for 70s
never.
fashion, so like it will always be like in style for me.
Yeah.
I feel.
But yes, the fucking digital camera. Can we talk about that for a second? I was at Stagecoach, and these groups, Gen Zs, and they're like, "Can you take a picture of us?" So the millennials were like, "Here's our phone,"
Yeah.
and then the Gen Zers were like, "Here's our digital camera," and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
I actually
right
have my
now.
digital camera in my bag right now. Too.
Oh my God! So do your guys' digital cameras now like speak directly to your phone?
You have to buy an adapter. And I have that in my
Because
bag.
I just
too.
want you to know that we would
Just
have
so
to
you know.
plug it into the laptop and
No,
upload.
we still do that. We do
Oh,
that.
you still
We're
have to do that.
practicing your relic ways. we're keeping it alive.
This is something my granny taught me.
Yeah. Because I can only imagine technology nowadays that it's just shooting right to your phone with Bluetooth.
Well, no, I bought a vintage digital camera, so that's why it's not to say that you're vintage, but like
What's vintage?
I probably
You
have
even
one,
told me the
yeah.
year.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
I'll show you later.
So attacked right now.
I probably have an old one in my
I still have one.
house.
I 100% still have one.
We should just give it to him.
Yeah, right.
You have to buy them on
that,
eBay
I'm-
now. Like, you can be like bidding
Should I
wars on
sell
eBay.
mine
know, should I
on
sell
eBay?
I bought mine for $180.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
should sell mine.
Ooh.
I swear, what's gonna like come back?
I wish
next?
I
Like, the
kept my
BlackBerry?
iPod mini. I wish I kept all these little things.
Oh, I know. I really wish I kept my iPod Shuffle. I had an iPod
Yeah.
Shuffle. I really wish.
Is
I
that the one
would've-
with no screen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one's cute.
it was the peasant version.
What color was it?
It was white.
Oh, period.
Oh, stop. Anyway, so no, yeah, they took a picture with the digital camera, and I was like, are you serious right now? And they were like, so fun. And it was just like, I wanted to ask them, like, okay, do you have to take the SIM card out of the memory card? Because that's what we had to do. We had
Yeah.
to put it into our
Yeah,
laptop.
I do that.
Or you had a little like memory card thing that was an adapter to your, not even a laptop, a computer.
Well,
the
that same
PC.
adapter that you connect to your computer, now they have one to connect to your phone.
Oh my
So it goes straight
gosh.
to your phone's, like iPhone's files app.
This is how we would upload things to Facebook. Like it was, you
Facebook,
know, this little strap
MySpace.
you would hang on.
Okay, let's
up
keep
to
in
the
mind though,
mic.
just to throw it in here, is that I have a brother who's turning 30 on June 18th. So like, I grew up with a
you-
millennial, my older
yeah.
brother that I idolized,
true. That's
so
true.
I'm kind of like, I've
You know of
experienced.
things. Yeah,
you know a
dabbled
few
a
things.
little
Yeah,
bit.
respect. I have respect.
What's your favorite thing about your generation?
The ability to just be so creative, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's creating a magazine design or anything of that sort. I think that we've really harnessed or honed in on the technology that we grew up with now, and
Yeah.
like we've become really like professionals that don't even go to school for it,
Yeah.
and like know how to take advantage of it and make money off of it. Like whenever I see someone go viral on TikTok, I'm like, go off,
Yeah.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do it, but like you did, and mad respect to you.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah. But do you think that's been kind of a double-edged sword in the way that, like, aside from you, because you're obviously working to go to law school, but do you think now that a lot of these Gen Zers want to take the easy way out and everybody's trying to go viral?
Is it the easy way out?
Well, in the sense where, like, I guess not easy way route.
I'll admit I've tried
but I'm
to
saying,
go
no,
viral,
I will say,
and it's not worked in my favor.
yeah, I wouldn't, easy is not the right word, but like banking on it, I guess, right? Because this is probably the first generation where we have so many young people that are millionaires.
Right.
That wasn't, I mean, there were some, but it wasn't to
Yeah.
this extent. Like most of
Well,
these.
and the way that they've become millionaires. Our generation and older, it was by the sweat of your brow. As
Yeah.
far as education, you were a lawyer, you're investing, you're doing
I mean,
all this stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, we did have like Instagram influencers part of millennial too, but it just came later.
Oh, it came very
It
late. See,
became
for me,
very later.
and that's kind of
Yeah.
where this age difference is so interesting, because being 37, that was not a thing. That was just like wasn't. So anybody that I know that's my age, or even like getting closer to
Yeah.
like 40 or whatever, it was always they became wealthy because they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were
Right.
dentists,
Yeah.
they were salesmen. Like it was the typical, it was not. Now you have, then it got into kind of your age group,
Yeah.
right? And then the influencers started coming up, and then it's
But see, for even me, the influencers came up like what, way after college?
yeah.
It wasn't like a thing until
Oh no.
for you, I mean, Charlie D'Amelio at 16?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that was never heard of before, people that young being millionaires.
The only thing that we had that was equivalent to that was child stars, like Mary Kate and Ashley
Yeah,
Olsen.
but that's different. That's
100%
that's
different.
so
They were
different.
acting since they were
Yeah.
babies. So the whole idea of like, I'm sorry, what do you do? Like, is she an actress? And it's like,
Right.
no, she's not. And it's like, so what does she do? It's like she does these really cool dances on TikTok, and it's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, so there.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but almost one of the, I think the like things that we misunderstand about your generation is like how we said like the easy route, and you're like, is it easy?
Well, yeah, it's
Because we think of hard work
Yeah.
as like going to school, going to law school, like
Yeah.
really truly putting in the work. Where honestly, but like posting, trying to go viral, keeping up
Your
with
mental
that,
health.
the mental health, like
Yeah.
having to do these hauls and these videos, like that's a lot of.
I mean,
fucking
even
work.
posting to my 1,000 followers, I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it
It's
gets
a lot of work, but
overwhelming.
I could also see how, because you're seeing, a small percentage or a fairly good sized percentage of people making so much money, that it almost makes you also just want to be viral and kind of lose focus elsewhere.
Yeah, I think you'd get a different reaction out of me if I didn't feel so good about what I was doing now.
No, and yeah,
And-
totally. You're kind of the exception, or maybe all your peers are like that. But I just assume that, like, because you're seeing so many people around your age becoming so rich,
Yeah.
that I
mean,
could
I won't be,
imagine
like-
everybody just like banking on becoming an influencer.
Yeah. I mean, I won't be like super like positive about it. Like sometimes I'll be like, really?
Yeah.
Like you're making that much money from that?
Yeah.
Like that's so unfair.
Yeah.
And like, what are you doing with the money? Not helping poor people? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
yeah.
So I don't know. It does piss me off in ways, but also I always think about. Okay, do you guys remember? Maybe this is a Gen Z thing. I don't know. Michaela from TikTok, the makeup artist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she like lied about the eyelash thing.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
she should have been
we
canceled.
talked about it on the
Yeah,
pod.
we did.
We zoomed in.
Right.
She
We had a
actually,
comparison.
she really annoys me. I'm gonna be honest. I can't
Yeah.
stand her.
For sure. I can completely understand that. But you know what? She's making bank.
She's making
And I have
bank
to
and-
respect that at the same time. Because
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? You're making more money than I am. How am I going to be? I don't want to be a hater at the same time.
I don't want to be a hater, but it's just like, I don't know. What my issue is, like, when people first come out, their personality is so different.
Right.
And then once they go viral, they become ruthless in a sense where it's all about the check, which I guess maybe you could say that would happen to anybody. But there's
Yeah.
very few that I feel like stay true to them.
Yeah.
And like now, if I were to look at any of her videos, I think I can't take her opinion seriously.
No, 100%.
See, and that's what I think, for me, that's my opinion of it, is like, I'm not going to, it's me and my favorite subject, the Kardashians. I am not going to hate on you and you making money. That's fine. But I think that your work has zero value. I think that it is not value added. I think you're doing nothing to contribute to our society. If anything, I think you're contributing to the downfall. I don't see value in your work. Now, if I meet someone who's a lawyer and maybe who's like an advocacy lawyer or even a doctor or a dentist, like to me, there's value in the work that you're doing. Hell, to me, even an electrician or a plumber, there's value in the work that you're doing.
Well, I think that's a good way to put it, is the value.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's an inherent difference between our generations of what is valuable and what isn't.
Yeah.
And what we deem to have value. So I'm not saying that your hard work isn't hard work. Sure, that is hard work to be viral and to get to Michaela's status, and keep up and keep yourself relevant. It's like Madonna. I mean, it's like you got to respect that hustle.
For sure.
I respect your hustle and your grind, but I think your value is zero.
Yeah,
and
I
think
agree on that.
You're not doing anything to help.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And I kind of wonder if you used almost like your powers for good, or if you put that brain power towards something else, could you be changing the world or doing something more impactful? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my personal perspective.
I think that's a good way to put it, though. The value is like, yeah, they're making so much money and it's work, but there's not much value to it.
Because that's my whole perspective on the Kardashians is I'm not going to, because everyone's like, oh, then you're just a hater. It's like, no, I'm not a hater. Like you've got,
I'm sorry, Kim is going to law school or already done with law school.
No,
we're actually finishing at the same time.
Okay, so she's trying to add some value.
Yeah. I mean, Jackie.
But this is my perspective. I think that it's 100% publicity. I think you're doing it for the clout. I think you're
don't think going to
it...
law school is something that someone would willingly choose for clout. That is a lot of work.
Okay, let's take your perspective on this, though. Knowing law school, but also knowing the resources that Kim Kardashian has. What's your take?
I don't think you're going to like what I'm going to say, Jackie. Law school is like maybe the hardest thing in that I've ever done, right? Mm-hmm. No matter the resources that you have, Kim Kardashian, when was the last time she was in school? It's been a while, probably. When was the last time she read a full book? I don't know.
It's true, though. It's true.
But she's like being a mother of, maybe she has babysitters. I don't know, probably.
Of course she has nannies.
Of course.
Come on, you guys.
Yet, I'm just imagining how busy she is as like this billionaire, entrepreneur woman, and still taking time out of the day to fail the baby bar twice and then take it a third time and pass it again. I thought that was, weirdly enough, the law school community actually was like, if she does it, if she passed, like, that's pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you pass, like, that's fine. But again, I think I'm talking about the complete other side of it.
I think, because think about every celebrity out there. She's the first celebrity I know that has ever done this. But she could find clout in so many other ways that I don't think going to law school was the way to find it for her.
I think she found a new route that no one's tapped into, and that's given her
that's
another,
not. I agree with him. It's not an easy route.
Like, doesn't matter if it's an easy route.
No, I don't.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Who
because
cares?
she doesn't.
But then what about the value that you were talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is,
I don't think that it's true value added.
With Kim is such a brand name that her household name that with or without law school, homie's relevant. She didn't need that to be relevant because she's going to be relevant regardless.
But that's what I'm saying. It's something to add to it. This is my whole perspective.
I don't agree with you on that one.
I don't believe.
We always disagree on this.
I always disagree.
We do too, but we just never talk about it.
I have a very, very, very hard time believing from the Kardashians, from how they've impacted beauty and kind of beauty standards, and there's a lot of bullshit with them. I cannot see them doing anything for an altruistic purpose. I see them doing it because it is because she's smart with business. So I don't think she's ever going to do something that is not going to profit her. This is how celebrities work. This is how influencers work.
She's done that a few times, though. She's been canceled a few times due to her poor decisions.
For what, though?
A million different things, but she's just too relevant to actually be canceled.
She can never be canceled.
Of course she can't, because we won't cancel her.
But the thing is, what I think you fail to realize is there's so much behind the scenes that she does in law that we don't even see as a public.
But this is what I'm saying. That's fine. I'm
saying
I'm not
that she's doing it out of wanting to do it because there are so many things that we just never see.
right, but that's exactly my point. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's for any altruistic purpose. I don't think she's trying to help. I don't think she's doing anything.
You disagree, I already know.
I think we should go to the next topic.
Yeah, because
we're never going to agree.
We're not
going to
agree.
Yeah.
So what scares you the most about your generation? Did I ask that already?
No.
Yeah, what scares you the most?
Wait, have you guys answered any of these questions back?
No.
I mean, not really, but
Okay.
most of our audience is, I think, millennial.
Right.
So, I mean, we can though. We can tell you
what question do you have for us?
What scares you about your generation?
Ooh, what scares me about my generation?
She said, "Ooh," as if like you didn't. I didn't repeat what you said.
I know.
It was like questions on it.
I know. But I never thought about it. I've never sat there. Does something scare you about it?
I wouldn't maybe say scare, but maybe like concerns type of thing is I think kind of what you said, maybe our lack of adaptability, or maybe just the fact that we don't see things that are non-traditional as not hard work, right? Like, again, we think of influencers and we see them and we're like, that's easy because, again, we see the front facing, right? When in reality, it really isn't. Like, all the editing you're doing on your photos and videos and the hauls and everything and staying relevant and finding new products, like all the Amazon hauls and stuff, like, like that's actually a lot of work. And again, because it's not in the traditional way that we know it or the way that we grew up with it from either our boomer parents or Gen Xers, like, I think that if we don't learn to adapt and if we don't learn to, I don't know, start seeing value in what would traditionally be like seen as like no value,
I think, I mean,
that would be our demise.
I think our demise is value in a different way. I think it comes to like personal relationships and dating. I think that the issue with our generation is first, which is fine. If you don't want to have kids, you don't want to have kids. But there's some people that don't want to get married anymore. There's so many people that they don't value what they have. So it's easy to just call it quits and move on. I don't think people like to put in the work anymore to make things work. I think people like to take the easy way out of just like, well, the grass is greener on the other side. I'm not going to water this grass. I think that's a big issue. That's why our divorce rate is so high. And I'm sure we play a good part to it of that rate is I think nobody wants to put in work.
Yeah. Or I think along with that is because something that I admire about Gen Z is their focus and their attention and the value that they've placed on mental and emotional health. And that is something that we 100% did not grow up with.
Yeah, we didn't.
Gen Xers didn't, and boomers, our parents sure as hell didn't. I mean, back in their day, right, it was like you were crazy. I've talked about this before. You said it in hushed tones, whereas Gen Z, very open, very loud, very proud.
Open. But my issue with
a little too, but
my issue with that is that it's almost become trendy with your guys' generation.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna give my 2 cents now.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually feed off of the concerns that you showed about your generation.
Okay.
Because I fully agree. I think that a lot of millennials actually discredit Gen Zers and their success. I think that there's just too much of millennials actually competing with the success that Gen Zers are having. And it's really interesting because I can say, oh, I am a first-gen American, first-gen graduate from undergrad, first-gen law student, gay, brown, grew up Muslim, grew up in a hard household, and now I'm in law school. And a millennial will tell me, you're a token. You got in because of your diversity, not because of your hard work. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, what about so-and-so? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to fully say besides saying that I feel like Gen Z is discredited in a lot of ways. And I feel like millennials don't really own up to that and don't really give us the flowers that we have been deserving.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think so. I think it's also just like, again, recognizing that because it's not in the way that we know or understand or the traditional way that we were brought up.
Or like millennials will be like, we went through this economic fall and da-da-da. I'm like, okay. You know what probably is the worst thing that any generation can face is growing up with technology. That was probably like the worst thing to happen to my mental health.
Yeah, I mean, we talk
Yeah.
about it all the time. I can't imagine having social media like that and being in high school.
No,
Yeah.
literally. And the first iPhone came out when I was like in 5th grade.
Yes.
So to like,
God.
and I didn't get an iPhone right away because we couldn't afford one. But once I got one, actually no, I had my HTC Touch, and like once I was able to get Instagram in 6th grade, not only was I amplified to like my whole school, my community, but also everyone else was amplified to me. And media consumption started so early, but also what started early too was cyberbullying.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yes.
cyberbullying is a big thing. You guys lost your innocence really early.
I always say this, that my youth was taken from such an early age.
I agree on that.
Because I feel like with you guys, like you got to go home from school and not face any more bullying. Or maybe someone TP'd your house, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you weren't constantly getting called slurs or names on your
Yeah.
phone.
Right.
Also,
Like you were
well,
taking it home with you.
100%. Also, what
Yes.
we talk about, which is nice, is like, I wouldn't know if I wasn't invited somewhere because there would be
Right.
no like posting
Yeah.
of it, right?
Right.
There would be no like paper trail.
there would be no
basically.
paper trail. Like Instagram, I think came out like the end of my high school. I don't remember, maybe like beginning end, but Instagram wasn't that big when it first came out. It was used
Right.
very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Than
wasn't
it is-
influencers yet.
It was,
No,
and
it
people
wasn't.
it was just posting random pictures. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there were no stories. There was
No.
nothing like that. So you didn't know what people were up to.
Yeah.
And Facebook, people just posted pictures of like random things. It still didn't give you that like same level of FOMO. Maybe a little bit, but not like you guys where Facebook wasn't used where you constantly know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Well, and it was also presented in a very more real way.
Yeah.
It was not curated the way
It was-
that
there
it
was
is
no
now.
filters, there was no
filters.
Photoshop.
I mean, it was basic filters on Instagram, but like the point of Instagram
Well, Facebook was first, and there was no
Yeah, there was
filter.
no
No filters.
filters, and it was just like you uploaded because it's like, oh, so and so's birthday, we had a great night, but nothing was really curated.
Nothing was
It was
curated.
not like we actually had a super shitty night, but I'm only showing you the highlight reel, or I don't know, like. I'm a really bad place with my mental health, but I'm going to show you that I had a great time, even though I was depressed the entire time or whatever, or I was only there for 2 seconds and then I left. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, and same with Instagram. When Instagram came out, it was literally like, here's a picture of an orange I ate this morning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that was it. It wasn't, oh, this is the orange that I picked outside of my window because I'm in an Italian villa.
Yeah.
Just the summer home. Like,
Well, yeah,
it
I
wasn't
think
like that.
It's become, and not just with your generation, ours, very showy now.
Yeah.
So
If you didn't post it, it never happened.
Yeah, and we didn't. I think about that all the time. Where I don't know how it would be really hard to grow up like that because you guys are just. I'm losing my. But you're.
Well, here, I'll bounce back off you. It's just like when I would go home, right, from
Yeah.
school with my phone, the F slurs didn't stop at school. It continued on my phone. And it was like you had no longer a safe space to just conceal yourself in. Yes, you had a block button, but that didn't stop them from making new accounts and continuously harassing you in 6th grade.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
yeah.
developing, and why I say my youth was taken so soon is that like I developed this like safety net for myself at such a young age that I should have never had to. Like this like way to
Yeah.
confide and be okay with these nasty things at such a young age, or even be exposed to like such adult like things at such a young
So
age
much
too.
Trauma
adult things.
response,
Yeah.
basically, that you developed.
I mean, and I think a lot of insecurities too, right?
oh God,
No,
I can
100%.
imagine.
Yeah, just
You
with
were-
appearance, everything, trying to keep up. Like I would love to show you a photo of how I looked in high school and how I just didn't give a crap. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh God, yeah.
It-
I
It's
cared too
just-
much. Like I would, and I bless my parents' heart, but I was begging for specific clothes, for specific hair products because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I was seeing in 6th grade. And then from so on to high school, like I was wearing True Religions from Nordstrom Rack because I had to fit in, and
Yeah.
I had to post them as well. So it was just like very unique. I don't know.
No, I think that's an excellent point though, because we talk about that all the time, and just we were able to have an innocence to us. We also still had kind of one of those things that are from previous generations where we all kind of collectively came together over the same thing. Whereas our thing was like, I know for my generation, it was like TGIF, which was like the lineup on Friday nights. And like, that's what you did. Or like you saw the new movie or like this new band was out. But now I feel like sure, you guys are all banding over social media, but it is like completely different experiences. And you have one we could ask another person who's like, oh my gosh, it's been amazing. Like, I've loved it. And then you have you where you're like, yeah, I developed trauma responses when I was 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, because I was getting bullied and harassed constantly.
I hate to get back to that, but it's like, I was called gay before I even knew what that was.
Oh, God.
Like, before I even knew what sex was.
Oh, my
Or, like, or
God.
sexual identity. I was getting called these things from such an early age because of
poor
social
thing.
media. So it's just like, okay, not to go back to Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
but from what we see, she's being a great mom. Her kid has a TikTok, and comments are not allowed to be posted on there.
Mm-hmm.
And everything she posts has to be with her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is how I want to raise my kids. I want
Yeah,
to make sure that they
it's-
don't get those comments filtered into their life as they grow up and like try to find who they are, because that's how we kind of had to go through things, and
Yeah.
it's not cool.
Well, because also we had parents that didn't understand anything, right?
Right.
I mean, like, how many times have you helped your parents like convert to like a PDF document?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Or,
Even
like,
something more basic than that. How do
or
I send an
just-
email?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
an emoji? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like type of thing. And like my favorite memes are like the one it's like, how did you change like the Google thing? Like, change it back. And it's like, I don't control Google, Mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but no, it's just it's very interesting, like, just to kind of see, I think what's interesting though is that every generation has had their hard, and I think what we need to stop doing is stop discounting
That's exactly
everyone's,
yeah.
because we did grow up like it was kind of one thing after another. If you look at millennials and like even like maybe more my age too, like I was a freshman when September 11th hit. And so I fully remember what I was doing, everything start to finish that day. And then we went into war, right? The Iraq war. And then we went into a severe recession, right? Where like I couldn't get a job. Like I literally applied to CVS and I couldn't get a job, and so how that impacted. And then we went into the pandemic. And it was like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
can we not catch a break? And it's impacted our ability to like grow up and have those adult experiences of like buying a house, getting married, like, and feeling secure enough to have children. Like, that's significant, but so is growing up so submerged in technology. And just like you'll never know my experience, I'll never know yours, which is why it's so important to have conversations like this. Like,
For sure.
oh, we think it's social media because I remember when Facebook launched.
Right.
Like I literally remember my friend Raisa telling me about it over her kitchen table, and she's like, "This thing called Facebook,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
Literally. So, but then here you are, you're like, "Oh yeah, I got called gay before I even knew what that was because of social media, because of technology." Like,
Yeah.
how is it impacting you now though as an adult?
Now, I think I love social media as much as I hate it. I'll be honest. I think life would be a lot better without it. But I think since it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
You kind of have to learn to love these types of things. And, going off of being bullied in middle school or elementary school and things of that sort, I didn't have a lot of friends. And kind of growing up with social media in 6th grade to all the way to end of high school and stuff, I made friends online.
Yeah.
And that was, my mom was so weirded out by that, by the way. She was just like, what do you mean you're going to like Skype who lives in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's my friend.
Yeah. Well, making sure it's not
Yeah,
like a
and then-
35-year-old man.
Right, exactly.
There was chat roulette. There were things like that.
Was there? What year did chat roulette become
Come
a
out.
thing?
That was, I mean, that was.
I see. I was full, like, I think I was like full grown adult.
No, but like
when
you had AIM.
yeah, I had
AIM, you could join random chats.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aim, you could join
okay.
random rooms.
Yeah,
That's
you could
that's
join
a
random
millennial
rooms.
thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You had your username and everything. But yeah, you could. But your parents could put blocks on it. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
which I know they can do now, but there's like so many ways like around it. And it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, it's kind of insane. But you feel like you've learned how to like manage it now, or do you feel like it still kind of impacts you negatively?
It definitely still impacts me negatively.
Mm.
Because, I don't know, I think like, especially like moving to New York City, I'm like, okay, I want to show everyone in California that I have such a great life here, that I'm
Yeah.
happy, that I'm living my best life. But at the same time, when I'm feeling low, it's like, how do I get myself out of that and end up posting something, which
Yeah.
I weirdly do,
Yeah.
but like, it's not like genuine.
It's the having to keep up.
Exactly. And I'm like, what am I keeping up with? Like, I don't,
Yeah, why
I'm
do we
not
care?
famous.
Why do we care?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we
care?
care?
Well, it's almost like we try to keep up with each other's like mental health.
In a
Like
way.
like it's no like, yes, it is still the like having, you know, the clothes or whatever. But I think we've also kind of moved past that, where now what's most enviable is I'm happy. Are you?
Right.
Not even I'm happy. It's look what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Also,
I'm
it's
having
like
experiences.
Instagram is like basically just a dating profile at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like if
Yeah.
I'm not posting, then my future man's not going to know what I look like. So then you feel that pressure to post too. And Jackie, you
Yeah.
never post.
Oh, I never post because
Yeah.
I find it exhausting. One, I think that I'm just like, I think I don't care enough. And I don't know, there's just this part of me that is just like, I don't care. I
Yeah.
really, really don't. And I will post when I do find I'm like, no, this was a really fun trip. Or,
Mhm.
you know, I'll do more stories than
Yeah,
anything. I will
yeah.
not really post, but I'll do more stories because I think it can be fun and just like, hey, like this was a good time, you know? But there's definitely times where I'll post a story because I'm like, let's see who's going to look
Yeah,
at this. And,
Yeah.
you
right.
know, like
We all do that.
Or like posting for
Yeah.
revenge.
Yes,
Yeah.
revenge posts. Or like
That's
you-
very common for me. I don't know.
Well, I
When you-
think.
Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, but I think it makes sense to like why there's so much mental health issues. I think social media of your generation. I think not only that it's been more widely spoken, but you guys have been exposed to more. And I think that's why a lot of Gen Z suffers with. I mean, I don't remember growing up, and maybe we just didn't know about it, but I feel like the suicide rate, if we were to compare, must
Oh,
be
gosh.
significantly.
It has to be significantly higher. But also just that, and yeah, maybe, because I mean, like, I know when I was younger, like, I definitely had thoughts of suicide. And because there were those times where, like, you just feel so insignificant and you feel, and also what I'm kind of learning through therapy is that the things that actually make me, like, me and talented are not the things that are you're recognized for in your teenage years. So no one's going to sit there and be like, you have a beautiful heart. No one's looking at that. They're looking at like your hair, your clothes, your
Right. Yeah.
outward appearance. You know, I'm a great communicator. Nobody told me that at 13.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm not good at sports, if I'm not pretty, if I'm not the prom queen, if I'm not a straight A student, if I'm not in AP honors classes, you know, if I'm not really good like at an instrument or something,
Right.
I felt so completely insignificant because it was just like, what am I doing here? You know?
And we were middle childs.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
a middle
Oh,
child.
syndrome.
So
Oh.
yeah, we're middle children. But that's the thing. It's like, so I did have those thoughts, but I wasn't being influenced. You know, I was kind of dealing with my own. It was here. It was just centered here in me and my own thoughts. I wasn't having to compete, I think, like your generation with then seeing everyone who is that and I'm not,
Right.
then seeing other things even kind of perpetuate my negative thoughts. You know, I mean, that's really gotta suck. Like, yes, I didn't necessarily have access to mental health options,
Yeah.
but I also didn't have to contend with then. All I had to contend with was that like I wasn't like, you know, Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell. I didn't have to deal with the fact that like, oh no, the girl down the street that I know is living this life that I want.
Yeah, because I think about it. I didn't know that many people that really, or it wasn't spoken about. I was just having this conversation about my high school friend, remember?
Yes.
Where I was like, nowadays that would be considered anxiety and depression, but in high school, we're like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, she's weird.
She's weird. Like, no,
Yeah.
she's weird. She's like, snap out of it, dude.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why you all have had to talk about it.
Well, you know what's funny is that like I think today is maybe the first time that I've publicly, I don't even post on my Instagram, like my Insta or story or anything, but like today's maybe like the first day that I've actually admitted that social media really takes a toll on me. And I hope that people listening actually feel the same way. I'm sure they do.
Everybody feels
But just
the
no
same
one
way.
wants to admit that. Everyone wants to seem like they're conquering this thing while also acknowledging that it's conquering them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody just wants to look perfect. Everybody
Yeah.
wants their life to look perfect, their relationship to look perfect, their
Yeah.
job to look perfect. Everything just needs to be like, I have what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like now we're envious of the happiness someone has.
Yeah.
Like, look at how stable they look. Look at how, like, I know for me, something that's really hard is seeing couples, seeing families, especially around holidays. Like, you know, 4th of July is going to be coming. So, like, I know I'm going to see those really cute photos of, like, you know, the matching outfits with the kids and like
Yeah.
there's these, you know, and granted, I don't know what's behind the scenes. I don't know if like literally, you know, the couple that I'm seeing, they like threatened divorce 5 times on the way to that shoot or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's the whole problem is we don't know the truth. And it's one thing to not know the truth about like celebrities or people you see in TV shows versus seeing people that are just like you.
Yeah,
Like
and then-
that's hard.
Then you harp on it, and then that's
Yeah.
when you're like, well, my life sucks. Look at their life. And
Yeah.
we talked about it last episode. You gotta mentally realize it's fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you feel like I don't know, like maybe it like your generation realized too heavy on technology? Or do you think it's like, no, we just know how to use it and it's just kind of like this, we grew up with it, so like
Yeah.
that's just kind of standard for us.
I just realized, I'm like, hopefully no one attacks me for like speaking for my entire generation.
No,
But,
it's your
like-
it's from your
experience.
perspective.
Yeah, just like it's
But-
from our perspective. I'm sure
Yeah.
millennials have
Oh,
different
we
opinions.
get hate all the time and we're like, thank you so much because that's my opinion. So
Yeah.
I'm allowed to
Yeah, I
have that.
wouldn't-
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But
Cool.
did you, when you were in school, did you guys have a laptop in elementary?
No, but we had desktops. Like we had the computer lab with all the
We had
big
the computer lab, but I know
desktops.
like
Computer
my sisters, they had like
How old are your sisters?
11 and 16.
That's like Generation X.
No,
16,
Gen X is
16 she's
before
still
us.
Gen Z.
Before millennial. Yeah, it's still Gen Z.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about 11?
She's going to be 17 soon.
I don't
I don't know, but even my 16-year-old sister, she's going to be 17 this month.
Okay.
But she had like a laptop that she would take to school that the school provides.
Well, that's an 8-year difference from me.
Yeah, that
so
is
I'm not
so
sure.
true. That
That's
is.
wild.
I know it sounds
Well,
gross.
my niece is 12 and they use Google Chromebooks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Google
Yeah,
Chrome.
Yeah.
that's what they use. And like everything's digital. That I was like, where's your like trapper keeper? Like where's
Yeah.
your binders? Like
Well, you know what's really
Yeah.
interesting too is that because I am on the cusp, I also think it has to do with like community funding. I don't think my school could really
Oh,
afford to have
true.
that. And
Yeah.
first, we had like really old, like big monitors.
Yeah,
We
so
didn't have the
true.
Apple ones either, but I knew that others, like my cousins who went to private school, had like the nice Apple ones and like the nice white glossy ones, you know, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So really, I
So you
don't
still
know.
had your binder.
Yeah, I had a binder for sure. And I know one of my friends, she went to a private school, she had tablets.
Yeah.
They weren't
Oh my God.
iPads, but they were like,
But still,
you know,
like-
Android tablets back in
Yeah.
the day.
No,
so.
yeah, we were carrying the books. My binder
Yeah.
was like this thick.
I still had binder, but we still had computer lab and we still I remember but again I
They had
grew up-
computers that long ago?
Wow.
Ah.
You mean you just didn't like type right? Like,
Yeah, that's how- yeah.
Like
That's how you learned how to.
roll the paper.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, I took typing courses, all right?
We had to. In junior high, it was mandatory to take it.
Same.
No, but talking kind of about community though, I grew up in Anaheim Hills, which is kind of, you know, like
More
somewhat of an
affluent.
affluent community. And so we had the brand new Macs, like the ones with the bright colors.
Okay.
You know, so like we were learning that in high school. We had English, not everyone, but there was always an option to do laptop class. And it was English and history. And we brought our laptops and they did everything through Dropbox. Like we had no paper, like everything was digitally
didn't have
uploaded
that.
through Dropbox.
I did not have that.
We did PowerPoint presentations,
Okay.
like all that different stuff, which was actually really helpful because I knew how to use those tools then going into college, which is all you used. And like Blackboard, you know, like
Yeah.
responding to someone's prompt on Blackboard.
Blackboard was
like-
college for me.
See, that was high school for me. I learned that in high school, but that was still relatively new. And that was like, it was specifically called laptop class. Like that's what we called it because there was only like.
Sounds ancient.
It,
But I didn't have that. And I'm younger than her and I didn't have
it
that.
was. Yeah. But again, I grew up in Anaheim Hills, an affluent community, right? Like, not that like, oh, you both grew up in the ghetto, like not like
No,
that.
yeah.
But it does speak to, right, the taxes and the
For
money,
sure,
you know,
for
and what
sure.
you have access to. No. Thanks, everyone, for listening to part 1 of our podcast with Nadim. So please tune in next week to finish it off with part 2.
Yes. See y'all. Have a great week.
Bye,
We'll see you next
everyone.
week.